And then the other, there was another lady that was, she was a coached at the school, like she was a coach of the team that Bryant's daughter and that other young lady that was in there, the other coach's daughter, one of their coaches was also a victim, and of course the pilot.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know. I've been struggling because
go ahead.
There's been a lot of, you can't post anything like, man, it's really sad, because I'll tell you who I've been thinking about through all this. I've been thinking about Vanessa Bryant and her kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, like, they've been together since she was 17.
Mm-hmm.
So literally her whole world, you know, and a child.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think about, they showed that coach's family, and there were 2 other kids. Older kids.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking about them. They lost their little sister, their parents.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I mean, it's all I can think about. I don't care that we lost an athlete. It's so sad that we lost, these families were shattered. And it's just, and people are just, like, anytime you say anything, you've got these people that really need to be woke, which woke people piss me off anyway. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't care about something that I care about because it's trendy or whatever.
Or it's politically convenient.
Right, I care about it because I care about it.
Right.
Or I don't.
And so, along with this, earlier you were talking about a police officer?
Ross saw it. I didn't see it.
Yeah. It was a cop.
And I don't know where it was exactly.
And all he said was, "Who's Kobe Bryant?"
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know.
Those were the words.
Yeah, and I mean, there was nothing posted before or after that to make you think he was...
Like, being facetious.
Or anything. He was like, literally like, who is Kobe Bryant?
You know, some people just don't watch TV. They don't keep up with sports.
Yeah. And he lost his job. And because he was culturally insensitive. Racially insensitive. Well, here's the thing. He's got a lawsuit for wrongful termination because you can't fire someone because they don't know who a certain celebrity is.
There was nothing inflammatory about his words.
No.
Nothing he said was inappropriate. And maybe he was being a dick and going like, who's this Kobe Bryant? But you can't prove it.
No.
And nothing else he posted, like Ross said, he didn't post anything before, during, or after that would lead you to believe he was being catty.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So how can you prove it? You can't.
Nope. But I think that whatever city he works in has opened themselves up to a severe lawsuit.
I agree.
And I hope he fucking rakes them over the coals.
Yeah.
Because people do these fucking knee-jerk reactions to shit, you know, to appease the social justice warriors or whoever the fuck. Well, and then wind up, you know, this guy, now he's lost his job. And when he goes to get another job, they're going to say, well, why did you lose this?
Yeah, and now it's going to be like this big
fucking thing. And these assholes don't ever think about that.
Are helicopters not required to have a black box?
No.
I was actually going to mention that because there was no black box on that.
So there was no terrain avoidance system or black box.
I'm wondering.
Your dog is getting it over there.
You know.
Oh, what is he doing?
He's
Charlie,
fucking a pillow.
Oh, Jesus Christ on a cracker.
You know, airliner has a black box. They have a collision avoidance system.
It's a flight data recorder.
He pulled somebody's bed out and he was making sweet love.
I'm guessing since that was either a private helicopter or a charter,
right? That
maybe those rules don't apply. I don't know.
Well, and you know what the sad thing I read about that? The whole reason he started doing these helicopter, like from here to there and the little jots, is because can you imagine what traffic is like in that area? So he would be like, he was in traffic and he missed one of the kids' school events.
Who, Kobe?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And he was like, I gotta find a way.
We do this when we have company.
I've got to find a way to live up to my responsibilities and obligations without missing out on the kids' stuff.
Yeah.
So that's his whole mind frame, and the reason he started doing the helicopter things to those practices and the games.
Well, what wound up happening? They hit like an embankment, right? Mm-hmm. And she said that one of the reports said that. That plane or that helicopter hit the ground at like
5,000 feet per second, minute.
That is fucking cruising.
Mm. And it said, I read where the pilot, that was his normal pilot. That's the only person he'd fly with. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it was an unproven guy. Like something clearly. But yeah, I thought that was really sad that like the whole point.
I can't remember. I think it was Kardashian. she had made a post saying, "Oh my God, sorry, all this. I just flew with that pilot. I fly with him all the time. I just flew with him last week or something." Oh, people jumped on her ass.
Why?
Because they said she was making the post on his death about herself.
No, she was saying, y'all, this guy, he was trusted. He was known and he was trusted, and he was like...
I am so sick of people making shit out of nothing.
That's what pisses me off. Like, if you go, oh my God, I know I'm really empathizing with you because I've had XYZ.
Oh, are you making it about you now?
No, I'm trying to empathize, you callous bitch.
You're appropriating her.
God knows.
Appropriating somebody's tragedy. That's what they'll say.
I'm not a fan of a Kardashian. Like, that meme, everything I've learned about them, I learned against my will.
Yeah, definitely.
But
except the video.
She didn't do anything wrong.
No,
she was just trying to say this was a terrible thing, but let's not lay the blame at this man's feet because he was well known. He was, supposed to be the best of the best and was highly respected. He flew all kinds of celebrities. That was what he did. Mm-hmm. This isn't like, it was a freak thing. Don't assassinate his character because he was a good person and we all trusted him. That's just, people piss me off. And then everybody, okay, and, I didn't remember this. And I've read about it since because I happened to say something and I got a buttload of flack because I was negating the pain of his victim because there'd been a sexual assault case
against
Kobe Bryant a while ago, and it never went anywhere. He was not convicted. Mm-hmm. The girl ended up saying...
Didn't she recant?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But now he wrote a letter saying... They did have sex. Mm-hmm. That nobody denies that. And he wrote a big thing, and I read his statement, and I thought it was really... I thought two things about it. I thought it sounded genuine, which I know that, that doesn't mean anything. But I also thought... I bet his lawyer didn't want him to write that. Mm-hmm. Because one of the things he said was, at the time, I really thought our... encounter was consensual. Looking back on it, I can understand how she would feel coerced. Mm-hmm. See, that right there opened up a little bit of liability for him on legal. So I can't believe his lawyer signed off on that.
Right.
So I thought, if he's really this monster, would he really have put himself, and because he didn't have to say anything because she recanted.
Right.
And he went on and he was like, please, to my fans, don't, I don't remember the verbiage, but basically, don't take this out on her. It was between me and her, and we've settled it, and, I wish her no ill. So I thought, if he's really that terrible, I just don't see, because we see people who are unapologetic all the time, and they're like, they will go to their grave insisting they did nothing wrong, and it was all a setup or whatever. So it just made me, I guess I was quicker to believe him, because he didn't try to say nothing happened. He was like, this happened, and I've looked at it from her perspective, and now I see it different, and maybe I acted wrong. Because he had high-dollar attorneys, and any attorney's going to go, don't say that, motherfucker, don't say that.
Yeah, he had them $1,000 an hour attorneys.
Yeah, and damn, we're not attorneys, but we're smart enough to know that the last thing you do in a situation like that is admit any culpability, because then that gives them a toehold.
Yep.
So, I don't know. But everybody's been going crazy. Like, if you say, rest in peace or whatever, what about his victim?
Well, since she
she
recanted, fuck you, she's not a victim.
Well, and the thing is, like, this was like a long time ago. It wasn't like last year.
No, this was like 10 years ago.
Or more.
Yeah.
And I thought, what about all the good he did, though? Because I read another article saying, like...
Because that was when he and Vanessa were engaged.
I don't know.
Or just recently married.
Or something. Yeah. It was a long time ago.
That's when he bought her, like, the $6 million ring or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, like, there was another article that talked about...
Yeah, she looked at that ring and she was like...
What'd you do?
I guess it's okay.
Yeah. But that he had made more Make-A-Wish than anybody else.
Wow.
Kids. So I thought, clearly this was... I'm not saying he did or didn't do it because I wasn't there.
Right.
But he clearly wasn't all bad because he didn't have to do those things, you know, and while he was alive, I'm sure you heard about it some, but it wasn't like something that you were just constantly being bombarded with. Look what I'm doing, this good thing. You know, and they talked about just that he was really a devoted family man. I mean, I know that kind of goes with the fucking around thing. That's like, really, but
that was 10 or 15 years ago too.
That was before he had a family.
Yeah, and he said,
I don't think he had kids then.
He said, you know,
I'm not 100% sure he was married then.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Because I remember that big ring afterwards. Like, I'm sorry. Here's the enormous diamond.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's just buying her that because he cheated on her." Yes, you're right.
Well, I mean, they went on to have 4 beautiful girls. They were all girls. God bless them. You know, and everybody said he was he was crazy about his family, and I just don't know. I mean, I'm not the kind of person that thinks when somebody dies that we automatically make them a hero. No. I don't agree with that, but I don't believe that we automatically just negate every good thing he ever did either.
No, and that's something that really bothers me about the woke people is, you know, I dare any of these assholes to prove to anybody that they've been perfect their whole fucking life.
Right, you can't tell me none of them
but
were
God forbid they find a motherfucking high-profile person who made a mistake one time.
Might be the same mistake they made.
And they try to ruin their careers.
Right.
And it's not just, this one person. This happens over and fucking over and over and over again.
And there's a word for it. It's called cancel culture.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like...
Hell, they tried to do it to Kevin Hart.
Yeah. Some
tweets from like 10 years ago.
Yeah. What's the guy that does Talking Dead? They tried to do it. An ex-girlfriend tried to do it to him.
I completely lost his name, but I can see his face.
Yeah, I can't. Damn.
But, like... We all did stupid things when we were young.
Yeah.
Said stupid things, did stupid things, made bad choices. We all did, and... Like, we talked about this before. Now you know better, you do better.
Right.
And I don't know. So I've been kind of struggling with that. That's been eating at me, like, because everybody's like, "Oh, you can't. I've been thinking about his victim." Well, I've been thinking about his wife and his daughters and the other people's families.
Yeah, and like Ross said, if she recanted, she's not a victim. And I'm sure she got quite a fucking healthy payment.
She did get a payment. Yeah. That's why she recanted. And, like, I don't know if that meant that they didn't think she had a provable case. I don't know. But I do know that if you drop your case...
You are not a victim.
And you take money to not talk about it anymore...
You're not a victim.
I don't know. I mean, if someone really violently hurt you, I don't think there's any amount of money to compensate for
if
that.
Somebody, you know I mean, if somebody really violently hurts you, then... You take that shit as high in court as you can take it. Criminal charges. He raped her. Not money.
Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves.
She claimed that she went up to his room.
She worked at the hotel, didn't she?
Yeah,
and she was invited to his room, apparently just to talk and cuddle. And
okay, first right there, a high-powered celebrity, actor, sports person, whatever, invites you to their room. It's not to talk.
Well, that's just like have you ever seen the?
Maybe talking with her mouth
behind the music on Def Leppard.
No.
Back when they were doing their
y'all want to know right now
Pyromania and all that tour, they said there was whenever they set up their stage, there was a room under the stage.
Oh yeah.
And when they'd come off stage, like
there'd
for breaks, and there'd be girls all over the place under that stage.
Okay, so y'all want to hear what it took?
Yeah.
He was 24 at the time, so it was dropped in September of 2004. It happened in 2003. They were at a lodge in Rocky Mountain town of Edwards, Colorado. A 19-year-old woman working at the front desk accompanied Bryant on a tour of the property. She later went to his hotel room where she said he raped her. He was 24 at the time. He was charged with 1 count of felony assault. It took 14 months for the criminal case to be resolved. The accuser decided she would not testify, and prosecutors dropped the case in September 1 of 2004. Then a civil suit was brought by the accuser in August 2004.
That's because she realized she couldn't get any money from a criminal suit.
I bet you what happened is her ass was hoping to get pregnant by